ట్రేసర్ పెట్టాలా? ట్రేసర్ పెట్టా. సెట్టింగ్స్కి వెళ్ళారా? Activities పెట్టా. Scroll down. You need to mention this pipe. Okay. Now you need to run this flow. ఏమొచ్చింది? ఇక్కడ ఏమొస్తుంది మీకు? సేమ్ ట్రేసర్ క్లోజ్ చేసి ఉంటారు. మీరు క్లోజ్ చేసి రన్ చేసి మళ్ళీ ఓపెన్ చేసి ఉంటారు. ట్రేసర్ యూనిట్ మినిమైజ్. మీరు ఏం చేస్తుంటారు? అదే నేను అంటాను, మీరు చేయాలి. యూనిట్ టు సెలెక్ట్ దిస్. యూ వుడ్ హావ్ ఫర్గాట్ సెలెక్టింగ్ దిస్. అసలు నేను చెప్పలేదు. మనం అక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలని మీకు చాలా టైం పడుతుంది. మీరు ఆల్రెడీ బాగా నేర్చుకుని వచ్చారా? అసలు మీకు ఫస్ట్ ట్రిగ్గర్ అంటే తెలియదు. ట్రిగ్గర్ టైప్ Okay, let's proceed now. So we'll understand the database today. Okay, with today your understanding will be done, and we will be proceeding with scenarios from Monday. So we are going to understand the relation, how PRC is designed in order to access its tables. నేను ఇంకా పోస్ట్ డేటాబేస్ సంబంధించిన పోస్ట్ చేస్తా ఈరోజు రేపట్లకు. ఓకే, see in the PRPC it has a rule base. So what is rule base? Yeah, it will be available in Tracer. Activity ya flow na ఇప్పుడు చూపించా రన్ చేసి ఓన్లీ ఇదే ఇది రన్ చేయాలా? ట్రేసర్ చూడాలా? ఓకే, ట్రేసర్ చూడాలంటే మీరు ట్రేసర్ కాదు. ట్రేసర్ you have to go through the tracer and then run it. Okay, so look at here now. So this is the rule base for PRPC, not this. So this is the rule base for PRPC, where in which you have nearly 400, 385 or some tables. See, all these are the internal tables which are there in the rule base of PRPC. So PRPC, whenever you create a work object, it will save the instances. Your application is AXA, right? So what is the table it will save your work objects? PC underscore. Yeah, PC underscore is the ideal table, but here in our application, what is the table? PC underscore AXA underscore insurance. This is the table that has been created. Okay, so other than this, there are many tables in Pega. See how PRPC is communicating with these tables. Internally, we are going to understand the table, how the tables will be connected to the PRPC application. Okay, see here now. See, this is the table. Okay, so here you have columns. Okay, suppose column name equal to first name, F name, and the next one is L name, age, gender, suppose state, suppose zip, whatever it is. So these are the columns available in the table. So PRPC, when you are accessing from the PRPC application, it will communicate with this table. How the relationship will be maintained is, suppose this is okay, the table name is equal to this table name. Let's take it PC underscore some table name I'll give. Okay, I'll give br underscore a dash. Okay, a underscore b underscore c. So this table will be connected to a class in PRPC environment. So this is class a dash b dash c. Okay, now this class will be connected to the table. The columns of the table will become properties here. Under this class, under the class ABC, you have properties: F name, L name, age, gender. These are the properties. So this one we already discussed. This table, this class will be connected to the table. So how how do you know to which table it is connected? Class. You need to do the test connection. Open the class rule form and click on test connection button. It will display this class is connected to this particular table in the database. So if you want to access this table, how PRPC is accessing this table is by means of this class name, and columns of the table will be available as properties in this class. Okay, if you want to access the table, class name which is connected, columns are properties here. So if you say, suppose if I want to access this property, how would I access? Class name dot info. So far how we have done? Page dot property. You need to define a page for this class, create a page, and page dot property. If you access, that means you are going to access class dot prop, whatever the property that belongs to the class. That means you are accessing the table column. So if you want to access any table in Pega, how PRPC is doing is, it is mapping the table to a class, and the columns of the table will be available as properties under that class. If you want to access these columns, you need to access page dot property. Page should refer to that particular class. Okay, this is clear, everyone? Okay, let's go ahead and work on database part now. So PRPC provides data tables. Those are called as data storage or data type rules in Pega 7. So let me log into existing application. Okay, see here, data tables. A table can be created under data explorer. So far we worked on application explorer. You need to work on data explorer from now onwards in order to work with tables. If you have any tables, those will be created under data explorer. So if you go to open a table called states, so here you go to records tab. See here in the data model tab, here you'll see this is the states table, and what are the columns available you need to define here: state code and state name. Okay, and go to the records tab. You will have state code and state name as columns. Okay, so state code, state name are the columns of the table with the given data here. Okay, so now, so this is the table. So this table is being created. Okay, what is the table class name? Swissbank data states. So you can go to application explorer to see the table class. So this is the table class. So here you see, so far we worked on work class, right? So this is called work layer. Okay, so parallel to the work, we do have few other layers. Parallel to work, we have data, and also we have INT. Swissbank data INT work. Okay, so this INT is integration layer, this data is data layer. Any of the components which you are going to create related to the database table component will come under data layer. Okay, any components related to work will go under work layer. Any of the components related to the integration will go under integration layers. Okay, so this is the implementation class, right? Work. like this is implementation data layer, and this one is implementation integration layer. So any implementation related to the stuff will go under this database, will go under this implementation data layer. Any of the tables which you are going to create, you will be creating under this layer. States is one of the table I have created, customer, vehicle, agency details, address details, transaction details, like this. So any of the database related components will go under this particular data layer. Okay, so any number of tables which you are going to create here in the Design Studio will go under this data layer. There is another data layer under which also we are creating tables. We'll understand that later. Okay, any Design Studio tables will go under this implementation data layer. So states is the table which I have created. So to which table? See, this is the Design Studio table. There will be a physical table for it again in the database. Okay, so what is the physical table name for this table? Tell me PRPC, leave it, and tell me other name. Prefix you leave it. Tell me a table name, physical table name. Swiss underscore, Swiss bank underscore, data underscore, states. So it will be prefixed with PR underscore. Okay. So PR underscore, PC underscore. There are two different types there. Other than that, we have PR4 underscore, something like this. See, PC are process commanded tables. These are called business tables. What is the meaning of business table? Is the data will be updating as the transactions are going on. That is what business table. PC underscore work table. Every time you create a work object, update the data and do, it will be updated back and forth, right? So these are the process commanded tables wherein which it will go ahead and save the business data. PR tables are the rules tables, okay, wherein which your rules will be saved, rule instances will be saved, and this is a constant data. It's like a master tables or reference tables. Suppose you are going to create states table. So will this be updated? Where you are going to maintain state code and state names, 50 states in US. So will this be updated frequently as the transactions are going on? It will not be updated. Whenever a new state has been added or removed, this will be updated. Okay, like this in a business, you have two types of tables. Business tables. Suppose you take customer table. Customer table will be updating every day when new customers are registering and they are leaving. Okay, so states table, cities table, agency table, some agency details and all. These will not be updated regularly. These are called reference tables or master tables. Those kind of reference tables you will be creating here in the Design Studio. Okay. So let's go ahead and work on these tables. See, the data table, if you want to create, you need to go to Data Explorer, and here you are going to create a data type. Add a data type. When you add a data type, it will ask you what is the properties, means columns of the table. You will add columns. Go to Records tab, configure the table to add the data, or configure the table to show like this. Once this is done, so when you create a data table, it will create a table class. Automatically, this states class will be created. The states class will be created. When you create a table, it will create a table class. The columns of the table will become properties here. These are the columns, state code and state name. Those are being properties in the class. Okay, other than this, it will create report and all. We'll see later. Okay, we'll talk about only this one. Table, once you create, it will create a table class. The columns will be created as properties, and it will create a physical table with same class name prefixed with PR underscore. All hyphens becomes underscore. And in the table class definition, so all your table classes will have instances, right? It has these are the instances of the table. So it should be a concrete class. Concrete classes will be having instances, and this class does not belong to class group. When you create a class group, what is the option here? You have noted in your notes. Notes, student. So when you create a class group, this option is selected as is a class group. So that means the concrete class which you have created work is, you are mentioning that is a class group. But here it says you will not select this, it will be automatically coming. It says does not belong to class group. So what is the meaning of does not belong to class group? Yeah, see, this is the table. What is this? Swiss, suppose bank, data, work, sorry, data, states. So this is created. Now here you go ahead and you have, what is that? Swiss bank work. Okay, so this is one class group. Similar to this, we can have other class groups also. What are the other class groups you can have? Swiss bank, whatever it is, test, Swiss bank, whatever it is, example. So this is class group, this is class group, this is also class group. You can have a number of class groups. All these class groups, so this will perform some work, this will perform some work, this will perform some work. Okay, different works. So in this class group, I want to go ahead and get the states, all the states of USA. USA states I need, which I want to populate from a table. So here also I want to populate USA states. Here also I want to populate USA states. Okay, room talipesina evaru unnara? Chair unde madagandi. Undantundi. Okay, so see, in this class I want to use states, in this class I want to use states, in this class I want to use states. So where can I create these states? So one way is, I already told you, leave about the states table. You tell me from the previous understanding of whatever we have discussed so far. Huh? Yeah, it should be created either in the organization or, because these are all unit levels, it should be created either in the organization or division. Okay, that's what you know. These are all units. If you want any reusable components across multiple units, where you will create organization and division. Okay, those two are what classes? Abstract classes, right? Can you create any instances for abstract classes? You cannot create. So can an abstract class be connected to a table? ఎట్లా అవుతుంది? ఇన్స్టాన్సెస్ లేవు కదా, ఇన్స్టాన్సెస్ లేనప్పుడు టేబుల్ ఎందుకు? When you don't have instances, there is no meaning of table. Abstract class, no table is required. See, you can understand simply, table is a class, data is instances, all the data instances, each row is one instance, right? PC underscore work table, each row is one work object, one instance. So table is a class under which each row is an instance. Okay, so abstract classes will not have instances, so you don't need to connect, you cannot connect an abstract class to a class, that is not possible. So if you want to create your table now, can you create it under table related reusable instances? You cannot put under abstract or division, that is not possible. So I am going to put it aside, which does not belong to any of these class groups. At a global level, I am going to create the tables. So these will be created, the states table will be created without connecting to the class groups. Means that is the meaning of does not belong to class groups. So this table can be reused anywhere in your application in any of the class groups. Any of the class groups. That is the meaning of does not belong to class group, means global. So the table you are creating global level to your class groups. When something is global, that can be reused anywhere. Okay, so that is what the meaning of does not belong to class group. Clear? Any questions? So here does not belong to class group means it is global. So the tables will be created separately. You can understand in a generalized way. See, you have a number of applications. You want to connect to a database, where you will create it is somewhere at its port. So all 10 applications can use the database, right? The same way we are doing here. You have a number of class groups. All class groups can commonly connect to a database table. So not, when I say can commonly use, not connect, can commonly use a database table. So I want to put this table without connecting to anything. Okay, at runtime these will go ahead and communicate with and get the data. So that is the meaning of does not belong to class group. Okay, we understand what is class group and does not belong to class group means global. Clear? Write down. So I will post this data. So we will work on warnings later. Okay, we will work on the warnings when we are working with guardrails. So data tables are data storage or data type. See here, data tables is the word which is being used in Pega 6. Pega 6.3 or 6.2 or before versions is to use the word data tables for the same purpose. From Pega 7 onwards, you are going to create a data type. Data types will be adding a data storage rule where you are storing the instances. See, for creating a data table, this is the navigation actually in Pega 6. So now if I am going to the same navigation, it says data tables have been replaced by a new local data storage format. So it has been replaced with new local data storage format. Suppose your application is upgraded, in which you have data tables, you will be provided with a convert button beside the table. If you click on convert, that will be converted to storage rule. Okay, to create a data storage format, you need to go to Data Explorer and add data type. This is what the navigation. Okay, I will tell you. So see here, data tables are just like relational database tables, but these are created from the Designer Studio of PRBC environment. Okay, from the PRBC environment Designer Studio, we will create the tables. And here you go ahead. Data tables are deprecated from version 7 and replaced with data storage rules. When we create a data table, it creates a data table. It creates a table class under data layer. Okay, so this one will not be done automatically. You need to choose accordingly under which layer you want to create. So when you create a table, it will create a table class as well as it will create a physical table in the database with PR underscore class name. All hyphens becomes underscore, and the columns of the table will be created as properties under this table class. That's what we discussed. All the data storage classes does not belong to class group. That means the classes are global classes and can be accessed from any of the class groups in our application. So when we create a data storage, we discussed it. Okay, for example, if the class name is equal to this one, then the physical table name will be PR underscore class name. Okay, so then data storage class will be connected to the physical table from PRBC application, that we know. If we want to access the columns, we need to access the properties of the class. This one is not required to understand now. We'll think about it later. We'll talk about it later. Okay. So now, when you are going to write down the notes, you write down all this. Okay. So the this one is not required. This is not required. We'll come to here. So we can perform the below operations on the data tables or storage rules. Insert operation, update, fetch, delete. It is a normal way. Okay. How you are working with. So in order to query the data storage table, PRBC provides below methods in the activity. What are the methods? OBJ browse is one method which can be used to fetch multiple records of the table. OBJ save, which is being used in order to insert or update data to the table. OBJ open to fetch a single record from the table based on primary key. OBJ open by handle to fetch a single record from the table based on paged key. OBJ delete is to delete the instances, and commit is to commit the data to the table. Okay, this and all we'll discuss later. Okay, so in order to access the tables, PRBC will provide methods. Okay, OBJ methods called OBJ browse. Browse is to fetch multiple records. OBJ save to insert or update data to the table. OBJ open to fetch a single record from the table based on primary key. OBJ delete to delete the data from the table. Okay, so these are the methods that are being provided. You can go ahead and write. I think it is there already. data types, you can go ahead and write down the notes. Okay. So shall we go ahead and write down how to create a data storage rule, data table? Okay, write down this point. Put the heading. You can leave one page or you can continue. Whatever the way you are going to proceed, you can proceed. Write down how to add a data type in our application. How to add a data type in our application. How to add a data type in our application. Data types can be added from Data Explorer. Data types can be added from Data Explorer. Okay, write down. Create a new table. Create a new table. States. Create a new table. States. What is the method? What is our application Axana? Create a new table. States with columns. State code. With columns. State code. In brackets you write down primary key. Columns state code, STATE code. It is a primary key column. Okay, primary key. Next column equal to state name. Columns properties kada, properties madhyalo space undakudadu. Okay, so display purpose ki vadochu space. Okay, we will be creating this one now and add the data into it and also and add data into this table. Add data into this table. And add data into this table. You need to add the state codes and state name. So here is the Data Explorer. Go to Data Explorer and here is the drop down. From this drop down you need to choose add a data type. Write down Data Explorer. From the drop down choose add data type. Choose this. So here it will ask you what is the name of the data type. States. So follow step by step in your notes and do it. Okay, states. Okay, so see here, go to the drop down advanced. Here you need to choose the parent class is implementation data layer. We need to choose. See here, you need to choose this. This is implementation data layer. By default, it will go ahead with automation data layer. When we have to select automation data layer, I'll tell you later. Now you have to go ahead with this implementation data layer. Okay. Expand advanced parent class equal to AXA insurance.
Is already created.
See, this data layer is already been created. When you create a new application, apart from work layer, data layer also got created.
All
layers have been created. Yeah, all the layers have been created. We will be working on each one going forward. Okay, so after you select this, it will add an identifier. Write down this identifier AXA insurance data states. In brackets, you write down this is the name of the table class. Identifier is equal to AXA. కొంచెం fast గా రాయండి. AXA insurance data states. Okay, in brackets you write down this is the table class name. This is the table class. This is the table class. Okay. Okay, go ahead and click on submit. Click on submit. So once you click on submit, you will be added with the data here. You will be given with data type states. Here you have data model tab. Here you have to add what are the columns which you want. Okay, so data model tab. See here you have to click on add field. What is the first one? State code, and the second one I am going to add state name. Write down. Okay, done. So go to records tab. Go to records tab. So in the records tab, you need to click on configure source. Configure source. So I'm going to click on configure source now. Okay. So when you click on configure source, it will allow you to choose the primary key column. So what is the primary key which will state code? See use as key, you need to select this checkbox. మీరు ఇంకా గ్రూప్ లో యాడ్ అవ్వాల్సిన వాళ్ళు ఎవరు ఉన్నారా? మీరు ముగ్గురా? మీరిద్దరా? నాకు పింక్ చేయండి ప్లీజ్ యాడ్ మీ ఇన్ గ్రూప్ అని, నేను యాడ్ చేస్తాను ఈరోజు. ఇంకా అందరు ఉన్నారు కదా గ్రూప్ లో. ఓకే, క్లిక్ ఆన్ నెక్స్ట్. And then go ahead here and click on finish or close వస్తుంది. Close. So close, click on close. See here, once you click on close, okay, once you click on close here you go ahead and state name and state code. You can add the data if you want to add. If you're not going to add, you can leave it, but we will add it now. State code AL Alabama. Alaska. Connecticut. New York. Okay, so these are the table rows which I have given. Okay, you can enter the states and state names. Done. So you can close the table. So everything is done. So what are the rules it will create now? Which we discussed. We created a table. What will be created in the background? It will create a table class. What is the table class name? Property name, state code, state name. And it creates a physical table. What is the physical table name? PR underscore class name with all hyphens underscore. So you can go back here and see when after you are done with this, you go here and look at the states class. It has created data model, property, state code and state. So other than this, it will create many other things which we will be working on later. Okay, physical table if you want to see, I will post the notes. You can go and see. Okay, so I'll show you if you want now. So because I have access, I can show you.
Sir, can you create a function?
ఏంటిది
Veritable property create sir. State code
No.
but property మనం change చేస్తాం.
ఒక్క నిమిషం పిఆర్ అండర్స్కోర్ ఏంటిది యాక్సా కదా యాక్సా అండర్స్కోర్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్ అండర్స్కోర్ స్టేట్స్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద టేబుల్ దట్ గాట్ క్రియేటెడ్ చెప్పండి
ఇరవై ప్రాపర్టీ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం. వాటి ప్రాపర్టీ మనం క్రియేట్ చేస్తామంటే వేరే టైప్ అని వేరే విధానం సో మనం ప్రాపర్టీ
చేయలేరు వన్స్ యూ క్రియేట్ అ ప్రాపర్టీ you cannot change the property type even it is a normal property or table property whatever it is. If you want to change the property type you need to delete the property and create again. Yeah, change it. Tables లో పెద్దగా మ్యాటర్ ఏమి కంట్రోల్స్ అక్కడ కంట్రోల్ ఇవ్వకపోయినా ఏం కాదు తీసేయచ్చు. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద టేబుల్ దట్ హాస్ బీన్ క్రియేటెడ్. సో we will go ahead and work on the tables now to fetch the data from the table. Okay, so how to fetch the data from the table we are going to see. Okay, this is also an example. After that I will add a scenario right now. You need to look into it. Now it is not required. You go through the design studio. I will add it on Saturday. Then after you can see. అవును అవదు. When you create a class, it will not create table. When you create a class, it will map to a default table, PR underscore other. It will not create any table. When you create a table, it will design studio table, it will create a class, but not vice versa. Okay. So we will go ahead and work on OBJ browse. Right now, how to fetch multiple records from the table using OBJ browse. Rename the table. Section చేయొచ్చు. రైట్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే వస్తలేదా rename అని సెక్షన్ రావట్లేదా? ఓపెన్ చేయండి సెక్షన్ ని. ఇదే సెక్షన్ రీనేమ్ చేయాలి అంతేగా. సేవ్ యాజ్ చేసి ఒరిజినల్ డిలీట్ చేసేయండి డిఫరెంట్ నేమ్. అవును, ఇది ఒరిజినల్ డిలీట్ చేసేయండి. దట్స్ వాట్ రీనేమ్. ఇంతకుముందు ఉండేది 6 లో ఇలా రైట్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే రీనేమ్ అని వచ్చేది. ఇప్పుడు రావట్లేదు అంటే సేవ్ యాజ్ చేసుకొని మార్చుకొని ఇది డిలీట్ చేయమని అర్థం. ఓకే, okay, what is that? How to fetch multiple records from a table using OBJ browse. How to fetch multiple records from the table using OBJ browse. Okay, before we proceed, you tell me this, which we already discussed. Okay. Suppose this is PRBC application, right? This is PRBC application. And this is table. Okay, in between what will be there? In between, yeah, clipboard. So when you are going to submit the data from PRBC, it will go to database, right? So it will go to database. How it will go? It will go to database through clipboard. Okay. So on the clipboard, how it will be available? It will be available as PY work page from UI, right? So it is PY work page. So what is the page? PY work page, and the data will be inserted into table. So will it directly go from PY work page to table? Then connectors came in. See, this is one page, right? This is one page, PY page. So this is the table. So what PRBC will do is it will create a table page. Okay, so the data from PY work page will be copied to table page. Data from PY work page will be copied to table page. This table page will be saved to the table. So the data will be inserted or updated, whatever it is. So whenever you are going and saving the data from PRBC, it will go to PY work page, UI, from UI to table page. So this table page will refer to PY work page will refer to which class? Chusara clipboard. PY work page will be created referring to which class? Work class. Table page will be created referring to which class? Table class. Whatever it is, data table class. Okay. So from work page, it will get into table page, and from table page it will save into database. Okay. Now, when you are going to fetch the data from the table, so the data will be fetched onto table page. If you want to display it in UI, you need to update it to PY work page. Then it will come to UI. Okay. So whenever you are going to fetch the data will be coming onto table page. You need to define a table page for the table class and create it, and then use the method. Then the data will come onto table page, and then table page. If you want to display it in UI, the purpose is to display in UI. Then you will update it to PY work page. Data will be displayed in UI. This is how it will work. You can draw this if you want. Temporary పెట్టుకోవాలి. See, you cannot get the data which is fetched from table to PY work page directly. So any table you are going to fetch the data from, it should come on to table page only. Any purpose అంటే మొత్తం తెచ్చి UI పేజ్ లో పెడితే పేజ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది సైజ్. అప్పుడు UI లో డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది. సపోజ్ I do not want in UI, then so you need to get it into table page, and then table page to PY work page. It will be displayed. When you submit also, it will do the same way. PY work page to table page, and table page will be. What is that? Database. Already mapping will be done, right? When you create a table itself. Work page is PY work page. Okay. So you simply remember, when you fetch the data from the table, it will come on to a page which refers to table. Okay. So now let's go ahead and work on OBJ browse. Okay. A diagram. Faster also. ఉంటాయి, అలాగే ఉంటాయి, డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటాయి. మనం డైరెక్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీ సెట్ చేయాలి. We need to do property set. Okay, this is done. Okay, whatever the table, in general I told you have a table, you will fetch the data, it will come on to table page.
See, especially that we have an activities, right? So we are doing some activity, two activities, we are taking some operations. And finally, that data is going to be stored there.
అవదు. Only work object will save. If you have an activity, you run the activity, data will not be saving into database. When you have a work object will get saved. Without a work object, data will not be saved back. Okay. So now let's go ahead. You have to manually do that operation to save. Now let's go ahead and create an activity under the work class. You need to create an activity in the work class. We will be creating in work class. Wherever you want, you can create, but let's see. So give a name to the activity, browse states at. Create an activity, browse states at. This is the name of the activity, create and open. So why we are creating this activity? What is the purpose? To fetch multiple records from the table. Which table? States table. So what is the method we need to use to fetch multiple records? Obj browse. In the method drop down you choose obj browse. And just look at here, do not write down, expand it. So these are the parameters it will expand. Okay, what is the page name onto which you want to get the data? You can write down any page, it's up to you. Okay, and obj class means what is the table class from which you want to fetch the data. Which table class we want to fetch? AXA insurance data states. And if you have any maximum rows that you want to go ahead and get, you can specify the maximum number of records. If you give 5, 5 will be fetched, 4, 4 will be fetched. If you do not give anything, 10,000 is the default. 10,000 is the default. And after these three are done, you need to mention which columns you want to fetch. When you do not give any column here, it will fetch all the columns of the table. Select star from. When you do not give anything, it's like select star from this particular table. The data which is being fetched will put onto this page. Okay, I am going to just look at here. I am going to do not write down states page, and which class I need to give here? AXA insurance data states, and maximum number of records are not required to mention. Leave about these three. We will talk about later. So which columns you want to fetch? Click the down arrow, you will see state code. So when you are going to select the column here, you are not required to select page name dot column. That is not required because it will directly take from this class. Okay, one column I have mentioned. I am going to mention another column, add another one, and then state name. It will automatically add a dot before. Okay, because you are accessing the property. If you have any conditions, you can mention. We are not going ahead with any conditions now. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Select state code, state name from this table. So it will fetch the data. The data that you fetch, keep on this page. Okay, the data that is being fetched will be kept on this page. If you are not going to write these two, it is like select star from this table and put the data on this page. Okay, clear? Yeah, now I'll tell you why you are not required to define. Follow this. We are going to discuss about it. Okay, why we are not defining in pages and classes, and why we are not taking step A and all. We will be understanding. So for now, you can go ahead and write down. I will show you the clipboard, then we will understand how it is working. Okay, write down this obj browse page name. Once you write page name, in brackets you write down. Okay, you write down. Follow me here. So for page name, in brackets you write down the data fetched from the table will be coming onto this page, onto states page on clipboard. This is one point you need to write down with respect to page name. So, and object class. Object class, when you write down in brackets, you write down what is object class. This is the table class from which we are fetching the data. Remaining things you are not able to do. These two you write down the explanation. Navigation. Any navigation? Ida. Expand is the just you need to expand the method. Here is the expand method step. You will expand it and select here and then add here. If you want one more column, you can add. Just give me 1 minute. Not bad, huh? Done? Everyone. So, what is the query that will be framed here? Select state code, comma state name from table states, whatever the class name. Okay, that's it. The data that is being fetched will kept onto that page. Okay, done. So save this, execute the activity and look at the clipboard for the data that is being fetched. Execute the activity and look at the clipboard for the data that is being fetched. Execute the activity and look at the clipboard for the data that is being fetched. Okay, I'm going to run this now. Okay. The exam IPN. Okay, so this is done. Click on run. So execution completed. Okay, look at the tracer every time. Okay, go to clipboard. And what is the page? States page. States page. Alphabetical order last round. This is the states page. So states page should hold all the data. Okay, click on this. It is holding what? It is holding only queries. Okay, no data. Maximum records it has taken, parameter 10,000. Now here expand this one. When you expand it, states page, you have something else here called PX results. Expand this PX results. You have many other things like PX results of 1, PX results of 2, 3, 4 and so on. Click on PX results of 1. You have first row data, AK, Alaska. Whatever it is, sorted. It's not first row, sorted. AL, Alabama. PX results of 3, California. How many rows we have? 9 rows. How many PX results we have? 9. So each PX results here is holding the data of 1 row. Okay. 10,000 if you have, 10,000 will be displayed. Okay. Now, so tell me this. We have given right states page. Oh, the other one is PX results. I'll talk about it. So just look at here now. So this is a table, right? What is the table? States is the table. What are the columns available? State, code. These are the properties. State, name. So in general way, I am creating a page called states page for what class? States class. States page is created for the class. So now you have two properties on this. Under this page, how many properties you have? States, state code, and state name. So I'm going to fetch the data from this table and I'm keeping on this page. When this is referring to this class, how many properties it will hold? Two properties. Now, how many values these properties can hold? Each one can hold one value. Suppose AL, and this will hold Alabama, right? Alabama. Now, what about other properties, other columns? See, I still have another columns, right? Other rows. For state code, how many values are there? AL, AK, NY, NJ, 9. State name 9. But it can hold only one property on this page. Each property can have only one value. It cannot be like this. This is not possible. Okay. So now when you are fetching the data from the table, it will come on to states page which you mentioned. Okay. The data should come on to the states page. States page, if it is been created referring to states table, it will hold the value, state code and state name. Okay. But there is no way that you can do this because state code and state name have 9 values each. So you cannot hold. So these are all properties of what type? I'll show you here. Drop down kadandi. So if I'm going to create a property like similar property, see here, property type you can change. Text, right? It is text already. So text is of type what type? Single value. So single value means it cannot hold multiple values. So our properties are created as single value only. So if you are going to refer states page creating for the states class, it cannot hold multiple values. It can only hold only one row, but it is getting all the data. So how PRPC is overcoming this problem? Okay, so now it has to find an alternate solution to get all the rows data which has been assigned to state code and state name. So what PRPC is doing now, it is going ahead and creating a page called PX results of 1. Okay, you can see the clipboard. Leave about states page, I'll talk about it later. Okay, so concentrate on this one, PX results of 1. It has created a page called PX results of 1, which is holding the value, state code, state name. Under PX results of 1, I have state code and state name, wherein which it is holding these values. Done. So after that, what it has done, it has created another page. This PX results of 1 referring to which class? AXA, insurance data, states. It is referring to this class. Okay. Next, what it has done? It has created another page, PX results of 2, on which it is holding AK, Alaska. This is referring to which class? States class. So like this, it is creating how many pages? 9 pages. Each page referring to states class corresponds to one row in the table. Okay. So here you go ahead. So PX results of 1, 2, so on n, where n is equal to number of maximum records that you are going to fetch. Okay, it's not number of rows in the table. You're going to specify. If you're not going to specify less than 10,000, everyone will come. Everything will come. So n is equal to maximum number of records. So now each page is holding state code and state name properties. Okay. So this page is created referring to AXA class. So this page can hold, referring to states class, this page can hold states class properties. So that is what happening internally. So it has created a page X which we don't know. referring to states table. So it can hold states table properties. So that is what happening. So it has created, each page has index here. Okay, each page is given with an index. If you see, all the pages names are same, right? Px Rails, Px Rails, Px Rails, but there is an index difference. So Px Rails of 1, Px Rails of 2, 3, 4 and so on. So all these pages are there under Px results. Okay, so go ahead here, all these are there under Px results. So what is this Px results? This is a page list property. Page list anukutam prastaniki property anukam. This is a page list. So far we have seen property. What is property? It is a single entity. We have seen page. What is page? Page can hold multiple properties onto it. So now page list. Page list is an ordered collection of multiple pages. Okay, which can hold multiple pages which are being indexed with 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on n. So now here PXLs of 1 to n are pages under the page list Px results. Clear? This is clear, right? So PRPC is using a page list here, which is a predefined page list. Your property is a single entity property. Page is a property which holds multiple properties onto it. So your page is also a property. We will be creating page properties later. Okay, page is also a property which will hold multiple single properties onto it. Not single, sorry, multiple properties onto it, not single, multiple properties. Page list is also a property which will hold multiple pages onto it. Clear? Those are being ordered with 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So generally speaking, okay, property equal to property, it is single value. Okay, page is equal to, it's a property, multiple properties can be held on this. Okay, and page list is equal to, it's a property, multiple pages onto it. This should be ordered pages. Okay, we have something else, unordered pages, which we will discuss later. Okay, so this is what the understanding we have got. So PRPC is using a page list property, which is an internal one. Let's go ahead and open that Px Rails. You can search here Px results. So Px Rails, it is the property. So Px Rails is a property of type page list. Okay, now this Px Rails property is there under which class? ఇక్కడ చూసి చెప్పచ్చు, ఏ క్లాస్ లో ఉంది ఇది? See, open state code property. State code property is there under which class? How did you say that? From this form. Here is the class given, right? So this Px Rails property is created under which class? Code Pega list, right? Code Pega list is the class under which this Px Results property is available. Okay, okay, fine. Code Pega list class. We'll put it aside. Okay. So now this Px Results is holding each of the page which is being referring to which class? Table class. Px Results is holding multiple n number of pages, each page referring to this class, table class. This Px Rails is also there under some page. What is the page? Under which page this Px Rails is being held? States page. Now your states page is holding Px Rails. States page is holding Px Rails. Now your states page should be created on the clipboard referring to which class? Referring to? చెప్పండి, బేసిక్స్ గా ఏం నేర్చుకున్నామో అదే అడుగుతున్నాను. We have learned some basics before we start activities. States page is holding a page list called Px Results. So Px Results is the property which belongs to the class Code Pega list. Now states page, when it is being created on the clipboard, it should refer to which class? It should refer to states, huh?
Table class. Worker class.
Then create the states page. Did we create it? We did not create it. It's been automatically created. Someone is saying something. What is that? Salim.
Work class.
Work class. Huh? Okay, you tell me this. Okay, I have a class A dash B dash C, and I have a property under this class, property 1. I want to access this property 1, okay, using a page called page 1 dot property 1. Okay, so now tell me what is the class of page 1? What is the class?
ABC.
It should refer to ABC. So this page is holding the property of this class. So this page should refer to the property class. Now you tell me. States page is holding the property PX results. PX results is there under code megalist class. Now your states page refer to which class? A class refer.
Data.
States class.
నాకు దీన్ని బట్టి చెప్పండి నాకు ఎక్కడ ఐ డోంట్ మైండ్ టేక్ దిస్ యాజ్ అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అండ్ టెల్ మీ ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ ప్రాపర్టీ అండర్ క్లాస్ ఏబిసి ద ప్రాపర్టీ యూ వాంట్ టు యాక్సెస్ యూజింగ్ ఎ పేజ్ ద పేజ్ షుడ్ రిఫర్ టు ఏబిసి క్లాస్ రైట్ దిస్ ఇస్ జనరల్ వే నౌ హియర్ PX results is a property under code pegalist class. I am holding this PX results property on states page dot PX results. Now your states page should refer to which class?
States.
Has to refer to code pegalist. So all the properties are being taken from the table and holding on to PX results of 1, 2, 3 and so on, which is referring to states class. That is fine because this page is holding states class properties. This PX results is a predefined property available under code pegalist class. This is being held on states page which we have given in the obj browse method parameter. So PRPC is creating states page automatically referring to the class code pegalist. Clear?
It is internally created.
It is internally creating. Okay, so PRPC is internally creating states page class referring to code pegalist. Why it is creating referring to code pegalist is because the data that is being browsed is being kept under page list PX results, where this PX results property is available in code pegalist. Okay, the page which we supply in obj browse is the page which holds PX results. Okay, clear? We will write down this on Monday. Okay, you can wind up for today. We will make a note of this on Monday. Otherwise, you can write down now itself. You have time. Just 5 minutes. Okay, what did you write? Execute the activity and go to the clipboard and look at the clipboard to understand. So write down this. On the clipboard, the data will be fetched in the below format. You write down this format. First, you write down this. అర్థమైంది అందరికి?
How is this iteration is happening?
Internally it is being, yeah, this is a page list, right? In a page list property we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 so on, ordered page list. Here it has that internal logic. Okay, write down this. Now the clipboard will have the data in this format. Write down this format and so on, n number. Once you are done with this, let me know. Make it fast. Okay, done. Hello. Manas, నేను క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నా మనస్ 10:30 కాల్ చేయండి. Okay, this is done. Okay, right now. Here PX results. Here PX results is an OTB page list property. Is an OTB page list property. Is an OTB page list property which is available under the predefined class. Which here PX results is an OTB. OTB is an OTB page list property available under predefined class. Available under predefined class. What is the class? Code Pega list. Available under Code Pega list. Available under Code Pega list. Okay, full stop. The data that is being fetched, the multiple records of data, right? Multiple records of data that is being fetched from the table. Multiple records of data that is being fetched from the table will be assigned to PX results property. Will be assigned to will be taken on to PX results. Will be taken on to PX results on the clipboard. Right. PX results will be created with n number of indexes. PX results contains n number of pages. PX results contains n number of pages where n is equal to what is n? Yeah, maximum number of records to be fetched. Maximum number of records that we fetch. Where n is equal to maximum number of records that we fetch. Okay. Right up. The states page. Next, right up. The states page, which we pass as a parameter for obj browse. Which we pass as a parameter to obj browse method. The states page, which we pass as a parameter to obj browse method, will be created on the clipboard. Holding the PX results page list. Full stop. Next point. As PX results is the property of Code Pega list class. As PX results is the property of Code Pega list class. As PX results is property of Code Pega list class. States page will be created. States page will be created referring to Code Pega list class. States page will be created referring to code pegalist class. States page will be created referring to code pegalist class. States page will be created referring to code pegalist class. Okay, so this is the understanding of OBJ browse. Okay, working with OBJ browse is very simple, but you have to understand how it is working internally on the clipboard, how PXS is coming and all. Okay, so you can go ahead and wind up for today. We'll meet on Monday. I'll ask you questions. So Monday same time 9 o'clock. So you can wind up for today, everyone.